Hello everyone, this is Tony. I'm the superintendent of the Springfield School District, a resident, a taxpayer, and a father of three boys who attend the school district, and one of which is a senior, class of 2020. I want to take a moment and just say thank you to our families, to our staff, for all that you've done and will continue to do in this unprecedented time in our most recent history. You are all immensely appreciated. I've been asked to go over our philosophy and explain a little bit about why we chose the direction we did. As you know, we've taken a slow and steady approach. Unfortunately, from the beginning of this pandemic, we kind of knew this was going to be a marathon and not a sprint. So we wanted to make sure that we had a kick at the end. Hence, we wanted to pace ourselves. We opted for patience and prudence. To keep the running metaphor, we've been drafting other districts, learning from their successes and their trials. And one thing I know for certain, we're not going to be perfect at this. This is a new challenging environment for our families, for our staff, and first and foremost, our concern is, was, and always will be the health and welfare of everyone involved. We knew it would take time to adjust to this. We knew it would take time for families to be at home, for our staff as well. I mean, there are no daycares. And I think of like Mrs. Miller and her teaching assistants. I think of our families that are trying to cope with everything that goes on in this new environment. So taking that slow and steady approach, we knew we were going to get complaints, but we wanted to get complaints where people said, we wish you were doing more, versus the complaint of overwhelming families and creating a feeling of stress and isolation and frustration and ultimately defeat in a time when we need to stay together. Our rigor will increase. We will continue to get better as we move forward, and we're confident with that. Some people have also asked about how come you don't have any live sessions. We realize that other districts are doing live sessions with Zoom and other tools. That's not our choice. That's not something that we're looking to do. There are just too many factors that can contribute to the disruption of education, from Zoom bombing to burnout to equity issues, privacy issues, contract issues, and just simply the impact of stress it puts on adolescents for just doing what we're doing here. Like, this isn't easy for me to talk into a camera. I can't imagine what it would be like to try to coordinate a K student as a family member to ensure that learning's occurring while I'm attending to my other children, while I'm trying to work or prepare a meal. I mean, it's not a situation that's pliable to live, in our opinion. So we're going to remain asynchronous when it comes to our instruction. It doesn't mean we don't value connections. There will be some opportunities for different types of connection as we move forward, but we're just not going to mandate live for instructional purposes. We're confident in our approach, and we're confident that our students and our staff and our families will get what they need during this time. Our planning, you received communication about our schedules, and going forward we'll update that past May 1st, and you can always get online and find out our plans online. You can take a look at it, or you can just email a teacher or give us a call, whatever you need. I think most importantly, I want to mention that we all need to try to do our best to stay positive. We are a brick and mortar institution. We are academics, and they're critically important, but we're also the arts. We're also athletics and activities, and we're about service. And I think that's what makes the Springfield School District so great, that emotional connection and the support that we have for one another. We just appreciate the support we've garnered during this time. I mean, working with St. Francis and Jill, it's been wonderful. She's awesome. And our commissioners and our legislators have been great. Our public, and of course our connection to Morton and Springfield families, our communities. We truly feel like we are in this together, and we want to continue to be. I would be remiss if I didn't mention our seniors, the class of 2020. Obviously, this is not the way the script was intended to close. Clearly, with the construction disruptions and the complications of COVID-19, your senior year has been anything but smooth. But you and your families have handled this with grace and maturity, like nothing I've ever seen. We're lighting it up blue and gold for you, and we ask that everyone else kind of do that too. We know it's not easy to keep going like this, but nothing in life ever seems to be easy that's worthwhile. We have a plan. We've published the plan with you. We know it doesn't fit everybody's schedule perfectly, but we ask for flexibility. Rest assured, as certain as the sun will come up, you will have a graduation ceremony at some point. You and your families have earned that. So do your work, stay the course, and all will be okay. In closing, I have a friend who coaches basketball. She stumbled on to our Twitter page and kind of FaceTimed and kind of explained the whole S and hope thing with the interpretation with Superman. And she had a different kind of view on this. She said whenever she coaches in the end of the fourth quarter, she always asks her team to put a 4 up because she believes the game's won and lost in the fourth quarter. And she talked about having heart in the fourth quarter, about who wants it more, who still has hope, who's willing to put in that extra work, because obviously the game plan's already played out. Now it's just about who's got that heart. And she did something that was really cool, and it kind of inspired me. She took her hand and she put her 4 up, and then she put the 4 on the S. And she talked about hope in the heart. And I have to tell you, it looked like this, and it was awesome. We all look for signs all the time, finding strength. She reminded me that the hope in the heart will prevail. No matter the circumstances, no matter how dark it gets, we can always choose the light. We can always elect to be positive, the simple gestures, the smiles, and just putting 4s up to each other and saying, we've got this, we can do this together. I think it's just the most wonderful message. So in closing, I hope you have a great week. Stay healthy, stay positive, stay hopeful. That's the most important thing we can do as human beings in the public system. That's why we're here, to build hope with each other. Have a great rest of the day.